Hello and welcome to the MCM London ComicCon. I'm Ben.
I'm Adam.
And I'm Mark.
And we are Skip to the End, podcast partners of the MCM ComicCon. Mark, do you want to tell them a little bit about what we're going to be doing this weekend?
Yeah, we've got a weekend full of interviewing amazing people from TV and film. And Adam?
We're also going to be taking in the sights and sounds of the convention, and we've got a question of the day for you every day this weekend.
So, let's get started. And we're back here in the MCM Buzz stand with another member of the cast of Falling Skies. We're here with Will Patton. So thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
If you want to grab the mic.
Oh, yeah, I'm supposed to speak into the microphone. Yeah. I'm speaking.
How's everything going for you so far? How are you enjoying the convention?
Yeah, well, I've barely gotten here, you know. I'm trying to find my feet right now. You know, I just flew in from the States, so I could be anywhere, you know. I don't know where I am.
So you're still fending off the jet lag?
Yeah, you know, yeah.
So we spoke a short while ago with Drew from the show as well, and
yes.
he was telling us, of course, the fifth and final season's about to start. So what are your thoughts knowing that the show's coming to an end?
I actually really enjoyed doing this show, and I'm going to miss the physicality of it. Is this being filmed right now?
It is.
Where's it being filmed from?
Right there.
Okay, right here? And here. Okay, good. I liked the physicality of the show. I liked, being able to use the body a lot and just run around fighting, you know, which you don't get to do in a lot of movies, unless it's a big action movie. And you don't want to do just action movies, so it was fun to have that time to really be physical. And I actually became very close to the people that I worked with, and it became like a really great family. And it was an interesting premise to have these very, very, human people in this very extreme situation. I mean, when I read the pilot, I was very taken with it, and it was a fun, dangerously fun project to do for 5 years, and it felt like being at war, but not actually in Afghanistan. Yeah.
And of course, the project was produced by Steven Spielberg. So did you have much communication with Spielberg?
No, he came out in the very beginning and was very supportive, and he also weighed in all the way through the 5 years, and actually all of his notes were very good. Yeah.
Excellent. I mean, how did you get involved in the project?
They sent me the script, and actually it's very interesting because they sent me the script, and I called up the writer, Bob Rodat, who's the guy who wrote Saving Private Ryan, a really great writer. I called him up and I said, so what happens with this character? He says, well, he dies in the third episode. I said, okay, I can do that because I got to go do this other movie. That's great, but that third episode, that's fine. And then they said, well, they actually want you to do 7 episodes. I said, well, okay. And I called him up and said, so what happens? He said, he dies in the 7th episode. I said, okay. So we get to about episode 5, and I said, so how's he going to die? And he said, well, we're not sure about that. Anyway, I get the 7th script, and there's no sign of me dying. I said, what's going on? Well, I thought I was going to. They said, well, who said anything about you dying? I said, I got a very clear idea. And by that time, I was so into it that I didn't want to die anymore. I think they tricked me.
So they've obviously tricked you into that then.
I don't know, maybe.
And you mentioned that being a big project, and you've certainly been involved in other big projects, films such as Armageddon. What's your preference as an actor? Do you like going out there and doing the big blockbuster movies, or do you prefer the intimacy of a network show, that sort of thing? What are you really interested in as an actor?
Well, I mean, I did theater for my whole growing up, and then I like, as long as I can find something about the character that interests me, or somebody I'm working with that interests me, or a director that I'm really like. I'm going to be doing a movie with Andrea Arnold. I don't know if you know who she is. A really great director. She directed the movie Fish Tank, and I'm going to be doing a movie with her starting next week, which is a very independent, not at all big Armageddon type of thing. Quite the opposite. Which I end up doing a lot of those kinds of movies because I find that they have much more exciting and creative stories and characters usually. But I love being physical, so the big movies often have a physicality, as does stage, which is probably why I like the physicality, yeah.
So this might be a bit of a difficult question for you, but who's the best character you feel you've played?
The best character I've ever played?
Yeah, what's your favorite?
I'll never be able to say that because it's always kind of whatever I'm working on at the moment. And sometimes it was really fun to play a character and the movie didn't really show what I felt it should have. Or sometimes it was really hard to play a character and that character ended up being amazing even though I didn't feel any joy doing it. So it's a complicated question, and I feel like I'd be betraying the other characters if I said I like this one. I'd be like cheating on the other,
One of the films of yours that I saw recently was The Punisher.
Yeah.
And that looked like a fun film to be a part of, and another physical film, as you like.
It was very interesting because at first I didn't want to do that part because of, you remember that scene with Ben Foster. It was pretty intense, and then I really got into it after a certain point. I really liked that character a lot, actually. Very mysterious, layered, not what he seemed on the surface. Yeah.
I think that sort of predated the big boom of the superhero movie genre and the comic book movie genre. Is that something else you'd be interested in working in again, that genre?
It depends. I mean, it depends. It depends on the character. It depends on, what the director's talking about in terms of vision and, tone and stuff, Yeah, I mean, I like to explore all kinds of things, see, I'm open. Yeah. But then I'm real closed sometimes, too.
So what are the other sort of major films you've been in with? Remember the Titans, you played Coach Bill Yones in that film. What was it like to have to portray not a fictional character anymore, a non-fictional character, someone who actually existed? Were the challenges different?
I find it's great because you can find all those things about a real person that aren't cliched at all. I did it also in A Mighty Heart with a character named Randall Bennett, who's head of security in Baghdad, and hung out with him. And these people are never what they're portrayed as in the movies. So to be with the real guys, you find out so many surprising things that are the opposite of what you would assume about, a coach or anybody. We're all different than what we make assumptions about each other, So real characters are great to play because you can study them. I like to have them on set with me so that I feel honest. So that I'm scared that I'm going to betray them. Yeah.
So circling back around to Falling Skies, as I say, we spoke to Drew earlier. he was very wary of what he could and couldn't tell us about the fifth and final season. Is there anything, any interesting nuggets that you can drop for us?
Well, I can speak for myself that there's love comes into Weaver's life through this woman at a certain point, which is a very interesting couple of episodes. His heart opens, which is much different than what was going on in season 1, where he was so closed. I think the 5 seasons were basically, for me, about Weaver letting his mask down a little bit at a time, which was very interesting. And he never fully let it down. He always wore that mask, but he really lets it down a bit in season 5.
Well, we look forward to watching it, so
Yeah.
thanks a lot for your time.
Yeah, thank you.
This is the end of another interview, but stay tuned, plenty more to come.